Is this better than an Apple Watch? We'll find out right after this, after a word from our sponsor. We don't have one. Let me get out scissors. Today we are unboxing the Fitbit Versa. This is a fitness tracker and smartwatch all in one. Fitbit is known mostly for their fitness trackers. I actually have one here that we are replacing today. So a couple things about it. They made a light version of this, a little bit cheaper model with a couple features taken off. But this is the regular full version of the Versa. I actually got it on sale. It usually is $200, but I ended up getting it for $170. I actually moved you right here so we can see things a little bit better. So we have this tab here to, I guess, start to open it. Come back to the front. All right, that just comes off and we get this nice package. Very subtle logo right there. I actually really like that. That's cool. And just, is this magnetic? Looks like a little bit. There you go. That's kind of the inside here. I didn't even need scissors, actually. But let's see. We've got the watch here. There we are. We'll set that aside for right now. That looks about just kind of a comparison to, this is an aftermarket strap on my old Fitbit. Actually, I can show you. It has not held up very well. You can see that sliding off. It's all ripped. And they had like a little loop to kind of keep it held down here. It's broken off. And we've got this all happening here too. So this is definitely going away. You can actually even take it off. And I'm sorry, I wear it on my right. I can't go back to the left now. I just find it too weird. And we've got like a little instructional pamphlet. Kind of shows what we've got in the box. How to change out the straps, because they do make the aftermarket straps. A little bit on the charger. And then we already have the Fitbit app on our phone, actually. But we'll put that aside for right now as well. And then we have more goodies in here. So we've got actually a large size strap, which is kind of nice. You don't have to pick and choose which one is better for you. I actually don't know which one will be better for me. I've got small, scrawny wrists, so we'll have to kind of try both on. And then we've got the charger here. Take a closer look at that. And it actually is almost like a dock for it, really. It does kind of squeeze open and closed to keep it locked in place, but otherwise just a little 4-pin connector, proprietary, I'm sure, to Fitbit themselves. So unfortunately, it doesn't have any standard connections, but it probably charges faster than other ones would anyway. I don't know, if it had a Type-C port, that would be pretty cool. And then finally, safety and warranty. Big boring book for that. All right, and there's nothing else in here, it looks like, so we'll set that aside and start taking a look at the Fitbit itself. And we'll also get it set up. I am using my phone to record, so I'll kind of do that and come back to you and report, I guess. But just taking another look at the charger, very well built. Got some nice, sorry, I was out of frame there. Very well built, nice, good quality plastic, just a little 4-pin connector, good quality cable. Not like the greatest, but definitely doable, especially because it's probably gonna stay in the same spot. Otherwise, just a standard USB connection at the end. So we can just take off this plastic wrap here. Looks like there's a little tab again. No scissors needed. That's kind of cool. And there you go. Oh, do we get a peel? Oh, look at that. Not the greatest peel, but a peel nonetheless. So you have kind of a glossy spot for where your fingers would go in order to unclamp it. Anyway, here's the strap again. It actually seems a lot more comfortable than I thought it would be. It's just a nice, really rubber material. You can see kind of how the strap works. It just has the pretty standard kind of put that through there, and then you have a hole to pick from. Kind of like how my old Fitbit was. But then looking at the watch itself, it's built together pretty nicely. That strap seems pretty durable, and it doesn't seem like it's going to come off of its little thing anytime soon. So why don't we... I believe it has an OLED display, and it's actually a touchscreen display as well, which is really nice. The other one here, it has... This is, by the way, a Charge 2 HR. And it has some cracks in there as well. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, that actually isn't technically a touchscreen. It's just pressure activated, whereas this is actually a touchscreen. And we can get a little bit into the features right now, I guess, too. You are actually able to download music onto this and connect it to Bluetooth headphones and be able to listen to music that way. It's got their heart rate monitor. It's continuously taking your heart rate. My experience with Fitbit, it's probably one of the best heart rate monitoring watches out there. So if that's something that's really important for you, whether it's medical issues or fitness or anything like that, I definitely recommend a Fitbit in that way. So we have some buttons here that will also see how we can control things. Anyway, we've also got some coaching. I think that's just like some words of encouragement and stuff like that. There's all sorts of different apps for this, and actually you can get notifications, like text notifications from your phone. And with Android, you can actually send what are they called? Quick replies, which is pretty nice. I don't personally use them very much, but we'll see if there's ever a time where I just don't feel like pulling out my phone to text someone. But yeah, we can also take another look at everything here. Is that another? No, I think that's just how it is. But yeah, so you have all sorts of heart rate monitors, the charging, I don't even know what you would call that, conductors, I guess. This is also waterproof. You can actually swim with this, and that's actually the last feature on here. Water resistant 50 meters. I don't know what the IP rating for that is, but you can swim with it pretty regularly. It actually tracks your pace and your laps as well, which is very nice. So I'm going to take a break here, figure out what strap will work best, and start to get it set up in my Fitbit app. And actually I'll come back here to show you how it all looks when it's actually on my wrist. Very nice, clean design. Looks like a smartwatch, a little bit fitness tracker-y. So if you want it for the fashion, you might want to look at other options, but really I think that it looks pretty good, especially in comparison to this guy here that like bulges up onto your wrist. You can, here, I'll kind of put it on that wrist there. You can see how much it would kind of bulge out from your wrist. Whereas this, very nice and flat, looks like a watch, fits me great actually. You can kind of see where I'm at. I might need to go smaller, one hook smaller if my hand gets a little bit swollen. Actually, I might even do that just for my own circulation. You can see it kind of squeezing my hand there. The strap itself is actually surprisingly comfortable. That's a little bit better. Nice and snug, but not squeezing my arm too much. Actually, it still is. There we go. That's a nice fit right there. It's a little bit loose. I'm kind of in between two of these spots, unfortunately. I'm sure if I start to work out or anything, I would get some blood pressure in my arm and kind of fill it out a little bit there. But actually very comfortable. I was looking at like the woven wrist straps, and I was wondering if that would be better, but they're not waterproof, so I thought I would just try this out. It's actually very comfortable. Very nice soft rubber from Fitbit here. All right, one other thing to quickly mention here. The charger for this, the cable is actually not very long. You can see that's about, what, maybe 4 feet? Maybe 3 even. So just take that into consideration. It's probably going to stay in one spot most of the time, but you might want to think about getting an extension, USB to USB or the USB to whatever output you have in your house, just because the cable is kind of short. But if it's just going to be next to your bed, that's next to an outlet, it should be pretty fine, or just next to an outlet in your bathroom even. Either of those things it should be fine for, but much longer than that, and it's going to be a little bit short. It does also have some grippy feet on the bottom, actually. I didn't notice that before, so it kind of stays in one spot. I keep on coming back to find things to look out for. So I've got a starting charge. Hello. It came up with 0% earlier. But actually something that I found a little bit annoying, you see it right there. Oh, there it says 0%. It is like lifting off the ground because of the strap there. You see that? That is actually a little bit frustrating. I guess it's not a huge deal, but it's just kind of annoying. They have like kind of this fancy stand going on, and it kind of gets a little bit thwarted by its own doing. Oh, you can see how something like that might happen. I keep on coming back and forth, but actually when you give the cable some more slack, it actually is pretty okay. It kind of weighs itself down, and so when I have a little bit more slack in the cable like I do here, it doesn't lift up like it does on my table when it's kind of extended out. All right, I am back. This is all updated. You can see now it's kind of walking me through some things I'll go over in a bit. But a couple things. So I had to update the firmware, which is totally fine. But I had a lot of issues getting it to connect to Wi-Fi to be able to update the firmware. And so I just gave it a break and came back and tried again. And it kind of inexplicably worked. So if you have any issues with that, just kind of fiddle around with the app and troubleshoot a few things. Turn on and off your phone. Maybe even uninstall the app. I didn't have to do that. Another thing you could try to do is make sure that the power for charging the Fitbit actually works, because there was one USB to the outlet thing that I was using that didn't seem to be working correctly. So I got a different one of those and it started working correctly, charging up. And eventually once it was charged, here we are now. We got the update all installed. It took a little while. I would say about 20 minutes maybe to update the whole thing. So we'll kind of take a look here. I wish I could go back. It was telling me a few things about what you can do. So over here you kind of have a quick button. If you're listening to music, it can bring up music controls. It can do something with notifications as well. I forget though. But then this one is dedicated for your notifications. You can also pull down on your screen, and actually you can see there that I had a notification. Let's see what it says here. Your stats. Lastly, swipe up from your clock to see the list of your health information. I'll try it now. So we got our clock, and we can swipe up, and we see all sorts of different things. Today, select up to 7 stats to track easily. Okay. Oh, so we got our... let's go back to that. So we got our steps, distance, and stairs, calories, and I don't know if that's like active minutes or something. Average steps for the day, even. And we got some heart rate. 6 steps in this 1 hour. You can see my heart rate. It's even changing right now. So it is pretty good at working on the fly. Last night I got 7 hours of sleep. That was actually information I got from here, but it's all connected through the Fitbit app. You can also see that I have 3 of my 4 days of exercise complete. We can look at settings a little bit later. Oh, another thing, you can see date, battery percentage, and then obviously you got your time here. And you can change these clock faces. It's actually pretty cool. I think they've got quite a few of them. I think in the hundreds, but we'll have to look. And then I wonder what this button does. Alarms. Set a new alarm. Okay, you can have up to 8 alarms at once. So I don't really want to set an alarm, but that's a pretty easy thing to do. We might have some more information to look at when we get into the app and can customize some things. Overall, though, we kind of talked about how comfortable it was. It is a pretty comfortable watch. I feel totally fine. Very responsive. It's nice that, like I was saying earlier, that it's got a touch screen. Oh, here we are. So it looks like we have some exercise modes as well. Run, biking, swimming. Like I was saying earlier, you can wear this up to 50 meters underwater. Treadmill even, weights, interval timer. And that kind of is a home button as well right here. Oh, sorry, I'm out of frame. And then we've got our music here as well. So I don't have any loaded music, but I could transfer any if I had it. We'll kind of look at that later. Alarms, coach, relax. We can look at the weather. And we'll have to set that up in the Fitbit app as well. Looks like we got a timer. We got some settings here. And then we actually have some apps over here. There's a lot of apps you can also download. I don't know any of these, Pandora and Starbucks. So Pandora, you can actually sync up certain stations that you want. Same with Deezer. And then Starbucks, you can kind of do an Apple or Samsung Pay sort of thing where you can just tap your watch up on the, the card reader. And also, actually, I think you can bring up like your member barcode or something like that. So that's pretty cool as well. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. I'll probably be playing with this for a little while, but so far I do recommend it. It's for the price, I could see it being a very good option, especially if you can get it on sale. If you want the connectivity to an iPhone, an Apple Watch might still be better, but this really is a pretty good smartwatch. It has some really nice basic features. This operating system is pretty easy to use. We can also try to do some things here. We can look at that reply. We just have some basic replies, emojis, I guess. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for me today. If you like the video, go ahead and hit like. I'll leave a link as well to both the Fitbit page and the Amazon page for this item if you do want to check it out for yourself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one.